Hi everyone, it's Katrina. From elusive big cats that reappeared after many years to some mysterious sightings of prehistoric creatures, here are 12 extinct animals that people believe still exist. Number 12. Loch Ness Monster. Rumors of a mysterious creature living in Loch Ness in the Scottish Highlands have been around for 1,500 years. Around 500 AD, the Romans were invading Scotland, which was inhabited by fierce tribes they called the Picts. The Picts carved all kinds of animal figures, and everything seems to be easily recognizable except for one creature. A strange beast with an elongated face and flippers instead of feet. Known as the swimming elephant, it was the beginning of the legends of the mysterious animal. More modern legends of the Loch Ness Monster started in 1933, when a couple reported to the Inverness Courier that they saw an enormous animal rolling and plunging on the surface. In 1934, the most famous image of Nessie was taken, and for many it was strong evidence that this creature actually existed. More people began reporting strange sightings of a creature in the loch, but monster hunters were unable to find the creature. In the 1950s, a local doctor named Constance White began collecting eyewitness accounts along with sketches. People began to take the sightings more seriously, and 4 scientific expeditions were launched to look for Nessie. Sonar traces revealed large, mysterious moving objects that nobody could explain. Scientist and naturalist Peter Scott declared it must be a plesiosaur, a reptile that went extinct some 65 million years ago. Loch Ness was frozen during the recent ice age, so it would have had to make its way from the sea into Loch Ness in the past 10,000 years. Others believe it was an archaeocite, a primitive whale with a serpentine neck that most likely went extinct 18 million years ago. While more recent investigations have also not been able to find any definitive proof of the monster's existence, there are those who believe Nessie may be a giant eel based on DNA recovered from the lake. What do you think? Could Nessie be an extinct creature that is still around? Or do you believe there is some other explanation? Let me know in the comments below. Number 11. Formosan clouded leopard. Native to Taiwan, this leopard was considered extinct, but was believed to have been spotted for the first time in 30 years. It's nice to have some good news these days. Declared extinct in 2013, the Formosan clouded leopard is believed to be a subspecies of the clouded leopard, a Himalayan feline that has been listed as vulnerable on the International Union for Conservation of Nature Red List of Threatened Species since 2008. Once considered a top predator in Taiwan, the Formosan clouded leopard's habitat was destroyed by extensive logging and hunting, forcing it to retreat far into the mountains and, as far as anyone could tell, disappear from existence. The last actual confirmed sighting of the Formosan clouded leopard was in 1983. Zoologists from Taiwan and the US performed a 13-year study starting in 2001, but failed to capture a single sighting of this elusive cat. The scientists gave up hope and it was declared extinct. However, there have been ongoing claims of sightings in recent years, leading Taiwanese scholars to remain reluctant to truly consider the animal extinct. An indigenous group reported seeing them in the 1990s, and villagers reportedly saw a Formosan clouded leopard twice in 2018. More sightings were reported as recently as last year, when several witnesses, including Alangi village rangers, saw cats resembling the Formosan clouded leopard hunting on a cliff and then running up a tree. The leopard is believed to be a sacred spirit to the Paiwan tribe, and villages have held meetings to stop outsiders from attempting to hunt them. Taiwan's Forestry Bureau reassured the public that it is actively investigating these sightings and that a team of rangers was commissioned to provide additional patrol in the region. Number 10. Pondicherry shark. Also called the long-nosed shark, the Pondicherry shark is a small, stout, gray shark that dwells in the eastern Indian and western Pacific Oceans. It typically grows no more than a meter long and is identifiable by its characteristic black-tipped fins. The last reported sighting of this shark was in the 1970s in India, but was it officially gone for good? Its continued existence was a hotly debated topic. While some people believed it might still be out there, others concluded that it was probably extinct. That all changed in 2019 when wildlife biologist Forrest Galante went out on an expedition to find the shark. He is passionate about finding animals the world has given up on in order to help protect them and their habitat. His quest to find the shark is documented on the Discovery Channel show Extinct or Alive. Galante discovered a suspected Pondicherry shark specimen, and its authenticity was confirmed through DNA tests. thus proving that species written off by many as extinct can sometimes defy the odds, even if they haven't been seen in years. The shark is extremely rare, most likely due to its unusual life cycle. It has to go into freshwater to breed, where shark fin hunters are waiting, decimating their population. While they were not able to find a live specimen, the remains that were later confirmed by DNA gave the team hope for the ongoing survival of the species. Number 9. Saber-tooth cat. Saber-tooth cats were around until about 11,000 years ago. They were very large creatures with bear-like bodies and the recognizable curved canine teeth that protruded from their mouths. They were fearsome predators, feasting on elephants, rhinos, and other large mammals of the time. They went extinct at around the same time as many other species from the Ice Age. It's believed that they were hunted by early humans and that they ran out of the huge food sources that they needed to survive. There are many who think that some species of saber-tooth cat still exist, particularly in Africa. One such beast, known as the Enedi tiger, is said to live in the Enedi Plateau in the east of Chad. They are rumored to be larger than lions, have distinctive red-banded fur with white stripes, and have protruding canine teeth, but no tails. Locals tell legends of these creatures living in the caves of the mountains, but as of yet, no photographic evidence has ever been captured. And now for number 8, but first, want to give a big shout out to Samuel Ruiz and Jay Ron. Thank you for supporting this channel. Be sure to subscribe if you haven't already and join us. Number 8. The giant ground sloth. While sloths these days are just about the cutest, nicest things ever, their ancient relative known as the Megatherium was something else entirely. Also known as giant ground sloths, they roamed the Americas for about 5.3 million years before they are believed to have gone extinct during the last ice age. They weighed several tons, reached 20 feet in length, and could stand over 12 feet tall. Although they were herbivores, they had enormous claws that they would use to defend themselves and to dig gigantic burrows. Of course, no tree is going to support all that weight. Some even had armor plates. Despite officially having gone extinct thousands of years ago, indigenous tribes of the Amazon report seeing an elusive, dangerous animal that was large, strong, with some sort of chemical defense. Other reports told about the mapinguari, a legendary and terrifying creature with shaggy hair, feet that faced backward, and a monkey-like face. Biologist Dr. David C. Oren and his team conducted hundreds of interviews over several years that convinced him that perhaps these were more than just stories. While the description could be some sort of primate, he believed that the way people described the creature was very similar to the fossil record of the ground sloth. In 1994, a team of scientists went to explore western Brazil in pursuit of this mysterious creature, thought to be long extinct. A major motive for the search was to show that a large number of species in the Amazon basin remains unknown to science, but should still be protected. Is the mapinguari a descendant of the Megatherium? Does it even exist? So far, no definitive proof has been found. Number 7. Javan tiger. Legendary for its gigantic paws and thin stripes, the Javan tiger, one of the 9 tiger subspecies, was once abundant on the Indonesian island of Java. Its numbers dwindled rapidly starting in the 18th century, when Dutch colonizers put a bounty on the animal's head. Javan tiger sightings grew few and far between by the 1940s, and the last confirmed sighting of one was in 1976. It was officially listed as extinct on the IUCN Red List in 2003. Unconfirmed sightings have continued through the years, and since the 1990s, wildlife enthusiasts have been trying, to no avail, to capture definitive images of a live Javan tiger. As recently as 2018, residents of Java claim to have spotted the majestic feline, but solid evidence is lacking, and Indonesia's Natural Resources Conservation Agency quickly dismissed the alleged sightings as the Javan leopard, an equally beautiful, critically endangered species that may also tragically slip into obscurity if conservation efforts fail. Number 6. Dracula monkey. Also known as Miller's grizzled langur, the Dracula monkey is one of the world's rarest and least studied primates. Experts believe that this elusive vampirish species went extinct by 2010, when the last 5 known specimens vanished. By then, a large portion of the Dracula monkey's natural habitat in Borneo's Kutai National Park was destroyed by illegal logging, fires, and other destructive human activities. Pretty much everyone thought it was gone. But sort of good news, a 2011 study rediscovered the species in the Wehea Forest, a protected area roughly 50 miles away from where it was last seen. But as study researcher and primatologist Stephanie Spehar warned in a live science interview, the Dracula monkey remained gravely endangered, as the research team admittedly only found a few of them and their habitat was not protected. Nobody saw the creature again for nearly a decade until 2019, when an international team of scientists captured images of live specimens in the Wahea forest using camera traps. But the future remains grim for the Dracula monkey. In an interview with the Daily Mail, conservation scientist Brent Loken said, "While our finding confirms the monkey still exists in East Kalimantan, there is a good chance that it remains one of the world's most endangered primates. I believe it is a race against time to protect many species in Borneo." Number 5. Tasmanian tiger. The distinctive thylacine, also called the Tasmanian tiger, is one of the largest carnivorous marsupials. It evolved around 4 million years ago and went extinct around 3,000 years ago on the Australian mainland. The last known thylacine, Benjamin, was captured in Tasmania in 1933 and passed away on the island at Hobart Zoo in 1936. The same year, the Tasmanian government introduced legislation to protect the species, but it was too late. Scientists were long confused about why the thylacine went extinct on the Australian mainland so much earlier than it did in Tasmania. In 2017, they theorized based on evidence of climate change starting around 4,000 years ago, the extreme weather probably caused the mainland extinction. In Tasmania, the thylacine was hunted out of existence. Or was it? The Tasmanian tiger was largely considered a pest, so the government had placed a bounty on its head. This led to a huge decrease in their population, but did it wipe them out completely? Many people think that this guy is still around, based on continued alleged sightings in both Tasmania and on the Australian mainland. People so frequently claim to spot the thylacine that some researchers have started to rethink its extinct status. A few years ago, James Cook University funded a large-scale study on the species, focusing on the Cape York Peninsula in North Queensland. While no concrete proof has surfaced, despite the researchers setting camera traps and extensively investigating eyewitness accounts, many have not ruled out the possibility that the thylacine may still be out there. What do you think? Let me know in the comments below. Number 4. Megalania. Megalania prisca was a huge and deadly monitor lizard that lived in Australia until about 40,000 years ago. They grew anywhere from 12 to 25 feet long and weighed from 500 pounds to 4,000 pounds. Paleontologists are still working on it, but it still would make the Komodo dragon a lightweight in this category. Also known as the giant monitor lizard, it was one of the dominant predators on the continent. Like other monitor lizards, it's most likely that it was venomous, and if so, it's the largest venomous vertebrate to ever live. It ate large mammals like Diprotodon, better known as the giant wombat, and the Procoptodon, the giant short-faced kangaroo. Question is, did they actually go extinct all those years ago? Aboriginal tribes told the story of an ancient dragon-like beast that caused death and destruction. Was it the Megalania? Did their early ancestors cross paths with the lizard? Numerous sightings of giant lizards were reported in the 19th and 20th centuries, and there are also suggestions that they may still be alive in nearby islands, such as in New Guinea, where the most recent sighting was in the 1960s. An Australian soldier said he was in Queensland where his team had to go through a dense, swampy area. There, they came upon the remains of a cow that had been viciously ripped apart. Something had dragged the cow for quite a while before eating huge chunks out of the animal. Around the area were large lizard footprints. Cryptozoologists have gathered these reports and believe that it's quite possible that Megalania may still be thriving deep in the forest. Number 3. Zanzibar leopard. Once abundant on Unguja Island in Tanzania's Zanzibar archipelago, the Zanzibar leopard was the largest apex predator and terrestrial carnivore within its range. The species was declared extinct nearly 30 years ago, and even then it was incredibly rare for someone to spot a Zanzibar leopard. Continued unconfirmed sightings left some doubts about this, but in 2002, experts concluded that it was extinct. Local superstition led to widespread government-sanctioned hunting, pretty much wiping the Zanzibar leopard off the face of the earth. The people believed that the leopards were sent by evil witches to harass villagers, so whenever one was spotted, it was killed. Nevertheless, claims of sightings continued, perpetuating the notion that the big cat could still be out there. In 2018, a team led by wildlife biologist Forrest Galante, from before I mentioned him, captured video footage of a creature bearing an uncanny resemblance to the Zanzibar leopard. They were unable to collect a sample for DNA analysis, but the clip has breathed new life into the debate over whether the species still exists. Researchers and park rangers are working together to try gathering a verifiable DNA sample in hopes that protective efforts can be implemented to restore the population. Number 2. Wallace's giant bee. As the world's largest bee species, Wallace's giant bee is the size of a human thumb and roughly 4 times bigger than a honeybee, with a 2.5-inch wingspan, like a hummingbird. It's named after its discoverer, British naturalist and explorer Alfred Russel Wallace, who came across it in 1858 on the tropical Indonesian island of Bacan. Wallace didn't look much further into the giant bee as he was too busy discovering around 1,000 other species. Scientists didn't witness one in person again until 1981, and subsequent researchers struggled to find the bee, whose habitat is largely threatened by deforestation for agriculture. For nearly 40 years, there were no confirmed sightings of the species. Finally, in early 2019, a team of Australian and North American biologists discovered a single female bee on the Indonesian islands of the North Moluccas, in a termite nest over 6.5 feet above the ground. The same year, a dead specimen was also retrieved. While the Wallace's giant bee's future is far from guaranteed, especially since it has no legal protection, its rediscovery has revived hope for saving it from the brink of extinction. Conservationists are urging the Indonesian government to take measures towards this goal. Number 1. Florida panther. There are no known big cat species in the U.S. matching the description of a black panther, which is a term that can be applied to pretty much any melanistic variant of a wild feline. Yet there have been many reported sightings, especially in Florida. While there is such a thing as a Florida panther, which is a cougar subspecies with a dwindling population of 230 or less, this creature is not dark and lacks other characteristics that would justify people mistaking it for a black panther. There are also no documented sightings of melanistic specimens or evidence that any dark version of the Florida panther exists. In 2013, Coastal Breeze News asserted that tourists who claim to see black panthers are probably instead witnessing a feral cat. But some people believe that the sightings aren't necessarily mistaken and that the black Florida panther may be a real distinct animal and that it is either extinct or nearly extinct. If this is the case, it's shocking that nobody has ever procured solid evidence of one, despite several researchers attempting to do so, as even the most elusive black cats have appeared on camera at least once or twice. Thanks for watching! What animal did you like the best? Do you think prehistoric creatures may still be around? Let me know in the comments below, and be sure to subscribe if you haven't already. See you next time. Bye!